Right, so here we have Grookey, one of the starter Pokemon from Sword and Shield. And this is an illustration that I've already done, which I did based on the images that you usually find online. So we can use this as a reference. I've kind of coloured it in my own style. We're just going to do a black and white outline as we usually do. So we'll follow the same pattern as I have done before. I'm going to draw some rough outlines in blue, using mainly circles again, and these sort of oblong shapes, just to show how simple the structure of these Pokemon can be, and then we'll build on that. So we've got Grookey's head here. It's again a sort of a circle, but slightly squished. Now, as you'll see, sometimes I draw just above the paper, so you don't actually even need to put your pen on the paper. You just start making that circular shape until you feel rough, until you feel like you've got it just right, and then you can put the pen down and make it a bit more certain. So you'll be drawing this maybe in pencil, and you can rub out these lines afterwards. Now, we'll put a line down the middle of the face here, where you'll see Grookey's sort of nose, beak, mouth thing, whatever it is, goes, and the eyes here. So that line is probably going to meet the bottom of the pupils, probably. And the next sort of circular shape is probably his bum just here. So just down here, a little bit smaller maybe. And we'll draw some lines there. Similarly, his feet are very small. We can do those as circles. You can see sort of kneeling, squatting down. That's where his toes, little toes, are going to go. His arm we'll just do as a kind of an oblong shape, so like a rectangle there, and another rectangle here on the right. A little tail. Put that tail in. And let's see the ears. So interestingly, you can see how the ears match up with the eyes. So usually on a human face, the ears go from the eyes to the bottom of the nose. And what they've done here is got these ears are sort of lined up, the top of the eyes and the bottom of the eyes. So it's probably around there and there maybe. It's a little bit low. Let's go probably around there. So you've got one ear here. It's just a simple little triangle shape it there, using those curvy lines, and these leaves on the top of his head there. And this is the stick that goes behind his hair, leaves, whatever they're called. Note that the important thing here is to get that straight line behind. So when you go over this in pen, you'll want these lines to match up so that we feel like that is a straight object. Let's do the beak here first. That's going to be the central object to the face. It's going to be the first thing most in the foreground. It'll probably be the first thing we draw when we go to inking. And we've got eyes either side of it here. So actually, you see how I've drawn the eye there? That's not quite right, because you can see in the main drawing here, the beak covers up that eye behind. So we want to match that, because obviously perspective, we've got the beak in front of that eye. This beak here is just a little bit smaller than I've drawn it. And I'm going to get that smile in there as well. We'll put in the pupils here. And the lines around the eyes are some more circles. You've got another sort of leaf shape. So you can see again how these patterns are created through this design. You've got that sort of triangular leaf shape here, in the ears. So similar shapes echoed throughout the design of Grookey. It's a great little character. This was my starter Pokemon when I played Sword and Shield. And you can add fingers there. So that's our rough drawing that we're going to use. Now let's go over that in ink. Now, what did I say last time? We talked about how we draw the things in the foreground first. So let's get the beak down. If you don't get it just right, it doesn't matter too much. Just see if you can make those lines smooth. I'm going to undo that there. Get a nice smile. There we go, going on. So sometimes when you're doing a circle, so we're going to do a circle for the eyes here. So I'll start roughing it out, just moving the pen over the paper. Sometimes it's easier to do it in parts. You might not get the whole circle down in one go smoothly without mistakes, and obviously you'll find that you don't always match up the lines. So what's quite a neat trick is to not do the whole line, and you can see that you're filling in the rough shape of the eye there, but you don't need to go all the way. And for the pupils here, for these eyes, I'm just going to sketch that in. The key thing is trying to make these feel round and smooth. These are the things people are going to focus on. And those smooth outer lines on the pupil make them just feel a little bit cuter. So these are some of the foreground elements. We've also got this arm down here that comes in actually. So this goes in here, and then the foot, the sort of knee comes in just over the top, and the bum around the back there. The little toes. There we go. And smooth line here for the stomach coming around. So you can see how that shape sort of all would link up. And here now we can put in the other elements of the arm. He's got these 4 fingers that come down. I've drawn a little line there for where the colour changes. It's almost like he's wearing gloves. And this in the background here is his other foot. Some toes there. And the tail. Oh, I love drawing tails. Tails are usually fun to draw. And we can put in the ear first before we draw the head shape. I think that's, yep, all the foreground elements drawn, and then we can come around here, draw this line there, and this line at the top there. Let me do that one again. So obviously if you're drawing this on a tablet, you can also press undo. If you're drawing it on paper, then it's fine to just keep practicing, go a little bit slower maybe, try and get those lines right. You've got to be a bit more careful when you're getting those lines on. Obviously try and draw quite quickly so as not to bore you, but I was told sometimes last time I drew quite a little bit too quickly, so you also need to, so I'm also kind of giving you a chance to keep up. And obviously you can pause the video whenever you need. And there we go, then we've got Grookey looking pretty happy. So now we're going to draw Grookey in another position. Let's imagine that let's say he's banging his stick. He's got his stick, he loves banging his stick, that Grookey. So we'll start with the head. I've been told to go a bit slower here as well, so start with the head. Now, I imagine he's banging his stick, sort of looking up, and he's probably very happy. He's got his eyes are going to be there-ish. They make these sort of happy half circle shapes. Semicircle, that's what they're called. He's got his beak thing here, and let's imagine he's got his mouth open like this. Now this is going to, just remember how before the beak covers the eye there, so this needs to cover the eye. I keep calling it a beak. If anyone's got another suggestion for what this is called, just a mouth, I guess. But it sticks out a little bit, which is why I think of it as a beak. So you can see that he's looking really happy. He's banging a stick. Now I imagine the stick's up here somewhere. The floor's here. Maybe there's a rock here that he's about to bang. So remember last time I did a little circle here, just below. That's where his bum is. And then it all links up there. Got one circle here, another circle here for his other foot. So you got the feet here. So you can see this is the ground. We can see there's a little bit of perspective here. This arm is coming down just behind this foot, and Grookey sort of arching his back, got his hand in the air. You got another oblong here. Mustn't forget the tail. It's going to be back here, and he's going to be holding the stick that was behind his leaf hair. He's getting ready to bang it down. So remember, we've got the ears that come on here. Again, sort of around the eyes there. They're probably about there-ish. They point up a little bit. Point up a little bit there as well. And the hair, which is probably a little bit back here. He's getting ready to bang the stick. Okay, so that's Grookey about to have his fun banging the rock. So, as we all know, obviously, when Grookey bangs the rock, then the grass grows, and you can make plants grow and things with it. So here we go. We're going to add an ink layer to this now, and let's start first with the beak here. I sometimes hold my breath when I'm drawing. That is probably not great advice to do that, but if you hear me doing that, that's just from concentration that something happens. Now, what I've drawn there, that outer line there, because it's above in front of this ear, but I need to draw this ear first before I draw the line around this side. But because the leaves are behind his head a little bit, because the head is tilted up and back a little bit, they're actually a little bit behind the face shape. And I might start asking you guys, do you have any particular poses that you want the Pokemon to be in? What they should be doing? He's got 4 toes, isn't he? He's got 4 toes, yep. This leg goes in front of this one. Probably the other toe is probably behind there. Might not be able to see it so well. So you got these 3 fingers, the thumb wrapped around there, and you can see I draw the fingers just as little squish circles as well. You don't need to add a lot of detail to them, just squish circles over the top of that line where the stick is enough. And you get the feeling that he's holding it. And then we can put the tail in. Now maybe the tail should be a little bit longer than that. And then on this side, he's got this arm down there for support, the other finger's on the other side. We'll do just a little bit of grass. And hell, let's draw a rock. Now here, I draw the rock. I'll leave a bit there just to see a bit of grass in front of it. And you can see sort of just a few lines to hint at the structure of the rock there. Some grass on the other side. We'll remove that, and then you've got Grookey getting ready to hit. Now I think actually he has some teeth on the inside, doesn't he? He has these little incisors. There we go. Grookey ready to hit the rock.